Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to give you kind of a rundown of this here van while I spill coffee on myself. Kind of give you an idea of our before so that the in process makes sense and the after. So I'm going to talk a little bit about where we are now, show you around. It's not very big, won't take very long. And then kind of as I show you around what we plan to do. So first things first, the chair that I'm currently sitting in is not anchored down. It's coming out entirely. Haven't quite decided if we're going to keep this regal purple fabric or not. I don't hate it. I just worry about, with the dogs in here, the amount of like dust that fabric holds onto. He won't admit it, but Tramp definitely has allergies, so in an effort to kind of control those, since he refuses to take medicine, I have to kind of think about how to limit dust in our surroundings. So if I have my way, the carpet, which I'll show you in a little bit, is going to come out entirely. All of this wood we want to keep if possible because we really do like it. It's real wood. I'll show you there's some detailing along a couple of the beams. It really just needs to be kind of refreshed. It just hasn't been well cared for, and so it just needs to be kind of touched up. As for the bed, we're not entirely sure what we're going to do about that. Our two options right now are to kind of just get a mattress topper and keep it because it provides us a lot more space in the middle of the van. The alternative is because it doesn't provide us a lot of storage option and it's not super comfortable on its own, like it needs a mattress topper. You can feel the bars that make up each segment of the bed. To see about constructing a platform which would allow us underbed storage and putting an actual mattress in. Now the question is what size mattress would fit. In our home right now, I essentially have at my disposal a queen, which is my mattress, or I could probably talk my mother into switching and keeping my queen, and I would take the full that's in my brother's room because she gets a bigger bed out of it. I mean, granted, she doesn't sleep in that room, but this is neither here nor there. My brother's 6'5". I'm sure he'd appreciate the bigger bed. So that's kind of where we are in terms of the structure of the van. What it really, needs to make it fully up and running for us, it does not currently have AC or heat. The windows, probably shouldn't say this on video, but the windows don't work great. The lights that run along the top, I guess Dylan said they stopped working the night before last. So I don't know if that's just an electrical issue. He said the fuses all looked okay, but we're going to try and wire the whole thing for electricity anyway, so we'll see how that goes. And then, I don't know, it's mostly just little stuff. Nothing, the van runs great. Some of our gauges don't work right, which our mechanic thinks is more of a sensor issue than a gauge issue. So hopefully that's not too expensive to fix because it has a secondary gas tank, and right now that always reads empty. So that's not super helpful because we filled it because we thought it was empty the other day and it only took like 3 gallons, so definitely not empty. Anyway, okay, let's give you a tour. So starting up here, it's got these cool little windows up top. And this area, it's a little dark, but this area would be great for some storage. Essentially what we're going to do is, let me put my phone down. This one doesn't have a screen, so I have to look at the phone to know what's going on, but I'll do my best to make this work. So basically we're going to put netting here so that this storage, which goes back all the way to my elbow just about, we can actually use. This is, I don't know how clearly you can see it in the video, but this is that detailing that I was talking about. So it looks really nice. This piece I actually don't think is wood. It looks to be some kind of plastic or resin, but we like it. I don't know that we're going to get rid of that. So the wood Looks pretty great, but definitely needs to be sanded and kind of retreated. This is the bed. So it sits up in a bench, and there's this carpet on the floor, as you can see, and it comes out to about the second board of this wood. This wood floor we love. We're going to keep that. It just needs to be sanded down and refinished. It came with these terrible pillows. Those are probably going to go or be converted into a dog bed. We'll see. So it's got these curtains along the side. Those I will more than likely replace with something that just suits us more, because curtains are an easy, you know, aesthetic fix. In the back here, there's a fair amount of storage space. That tire is going to be going away altogether. That is the original 1988 vacuum that came in this van. And then these are the lights that run along, and then there's some on the sides as well, and those are what stopped working. So as for inside the front of the van, this center console that my phone is sitting on is going to stay. However, this we might alter. We got really excited about the fact that it has a tape deck, and we bought a ton of tapes at a thrift store the other day. Turns out tape deck doesn't work, so we don't really need a tape holder. And Dylan's probably just going to replace the stereo altogether, because it also does not seem to have a working antenna, which means we can't even listen to our News Junkie. News Junkie, Real Radio 104.1. I'm just going to shamelessly plug them because they're awesome and more people should listen to them, so I don't sound like a crazy person when I talk about them all the time. Okay, cool. And then on the sides, you can see what I mean about the window. It's mostly just, you know, kind of looks rough, needs to... I fortunately have a carpet cleaner because I have had pets my whole life, and that is therefore something that is important. So that is how that is gonna go. Okay. What's the easiest way to do this? Hold, please. I'm opening the van up so I can kind of show you what we plan to do with the inside. But I'm awkwardly trying to do it with not enough hands because I wasn't willing to give up my coffee. Let's see. I always struggle to figure out how to open this back door. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. Let me put things down. Hello, Mr. Tire. Okay. So, yeah, this little lever on the bottom I always have a hard time finding. So, right now, this is what the back looks like. So, along these doors, our plan is that on one side, this whole panel pretty much is going to come off. Something's going to go in to cover up the electricity. And then what's essentially going to happen is on one side, there's going to be a stove that will fold out, like a camp stove, but that will fold up and shut so that we can shut the door and not lose all our storage space in the back. This tire is coming out, so we're going to mount on the back. We're going to remount the tire, and then on the back of the other door, we're going to mount like a gas can and some other, you know, stuffs. So, then on this side, or on the other side, you know, it's kind of nondescript at this point, the other door is going to have kind of a sink setup, for lack of a better word. So basically, we're going to take some PVC pipe and run it along the roof of the van, seal it, paint it black so it has kind of a heat absorbing element to it, fill it with water, and then we'll run a hose that comes down here to connect to the bucket that will act as our sink, which will be just on a hook, and the hose will run down, and then you'll have the ability to kind of wash something if you really need to. So this is clearly not at all like the vans you are used to seeing go viral on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, because we are working with a very limited budget, so we are definitely not building out a brand new cargo van. No, I mentioned in another video that I haven't posted yet, but we know for certain that the roof at its highest point is exactly, or at like its middle point is exactly 5'4", because my mother can stand flat-footed with no shoes and her head just brushes the ceiling, which means at its highest point it's about 5'6". I'm 5'9" and Dylan is 6'2", so we're definitely not standing up inside this van, which means we're not putting a kitchen inside. We just can't. I refuse to work stooped over like that. I've done it in pastry kitchens most of my professional career. It sucks. I don't want to do it in what is effectively my home. It also means that we need to think about that kind of spacing if we decide to replace the bed, because we obviously need enough room for us to sit up. So that's all a work in progress. Cut these together real quick and post them on ye old Facebook. I don't know, should we get a YouTube channel? Should that be a thing that we do? It might be easier. Never been like a super huge social media person, and now I've got like 8 different forms of social media just for this project. So that's fun. Okay, so bye.